Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? See if anybody comes through. Be able to get some business talk going on. Man, but to the current topics, man, I think people are literally tripping when it comes to Donald Trump's taxes, man. People act like they wouldn't do the same. Like your favorite celebrity is trying to cut taxes. Any anybody that has any type of resources trying to cut their taxes, to be honest, the media likes to do this, uh, hit pieces and everything. I think it's crazy, man. Uh, for one thing, Donald Trump pretty much has a lot of write-offs. He's writing off the interest. He's writing off the payroll. He's writing off buildings with depreciating assets, depreciation and carryover. That's pretty much his game. Plus, the way how tax is set up, period, but that has so many tax credits and benefits. She, uh, when it comes to real estate, more people just use their money to just shelter the money. And to be honest, I don't think anybody, uh, I don't think anybody in this world would say that they for paying more taxes. Now, the crazier part about it is the amount that he paid. Now that's hilarious. $750. That's that's literally really somebody's rent for the whole month in certain places. Um, when it comes to pretty much real estate, it's pretty much a game of parlaying uh, all your assets and carry over, using a lot of strong write-offs. Like it, really, someone can be $400 million in debt and they can really write off all the interest on that debt, and plus use the debt to pretty much pull into more assets. Because having having all these write-offs is necessary. Charitable donations, that's all necessary. Vehicles with leases on it, necessary. But yeah, man, I'm just trying to see if anybody comes up. If anybody comes up, chop it up about business, or really, to be honest, anything. It's an open panel. But you have a lot of people that maneuver like this. Like you got rappers 50 Cent, Waka Flocka. They both mention how Donald Trump taught them how to pay less in taxes, less to no in taxes, and Waka pretty much said that Donald Trump told him to create a C corporation with a trust and add an LLC on there, and pretty much it's one entity paying the other entity that's paying the other entity, and pretty much lower their taxable income. So it's pretty much a game of parlaying and cycling. Like the game of business they call it a shell game. Nah, that's actually just have a good carryover. Because there is businesses that when Obama was president, they had to be able to create multiple LLCs to pull in money in this section, that section, the other section, and pretty much get the tax rate lowered. Because to be honest, man, the game is a shell game. When it comes to understanding, like the shell game comes from foreign investments, but when you're doing all your stuff here, like anybody that's here can capitalize off of a Nevada LLC, a Florida LLC, or Delaware LLC, and pretty much have a low tax rate and pretty much having everything written off, like your dinners, your hotel stays, your gas, even writing everything off as a business expense. Claim everything up, to be honest, because people people are going to find more innovative ways to be able to pay less than taxes. Taxing the rich, you're just going to wind up taxing W-2 workers. But yes, this is an open panel. Anybody would like to come up, talk about business, talk about anything that's relative to your liking, please come up and join the panel. But pretty much when it comes to going on the global market, I think more and more people should just focus on e-commerce, getting their credit right, and real estate as like the third pillar, because real estate is pretty much the, shit. It's like a big tax shelter, legal tax shelter. Pulling in $400,000 on your business, or just pretty much transactions. Say if you're a higher income earner, putting some money aside on real estate and leveraging it has to be one of the smartest moves that anybody can do. Like, there's one property I saw in Decatur, Georgia. Let me type it up. I saw the property in Decatur, and looks beautiful. $115,000 potential to be able to probably put a 30% down, $25,000 to $30,000 down payment, and try to capture the asset and rent it out and pretty much refi in 6 to 8 months. So Decatur, Georgia. I'm gonna try to get it while we still on here, but I saw the beautiful asset indicator. I said, this is a play for somebody. And shout out to the YouTuber Andre Hatchet, man. He also pretty much put a bug into my ear about Decatur, Georgia. But real estate is pretty much going to keep on going up. You got Chinese buying up a lot of stuff here in California, and pretty much nationwide. People are getting a lot of cash outs due to the fact that they're buying up real estate even higher in the Oakland Hills. They're buying up houses that's $600,000 for $1 million, cashing those people out and pretty much building up on it and selling those 1 million homes to 3 million in 5 to 7 years, pretty much projected. But yeah, man, real estate is always going to seem like it's always going to go up. I don't know when the Federal Reserve is thinking about pulling the plug when it comes to certain programs that are funding. But when it comes to just real estate in general, people say, I'm going to wait until the economy crashes, then I can be able to hop on it. Timing the market in real estate is not timing the market in stocks. It can be very hard. And a lot of markets don't even go through a recession. There was markets in 2008. And even though, this is kind of different, in 2008, there was markets in Texas that was still going strong, even with the 08 global recession. So I'm going to screen share and I'm going to show you guys the house that I saw. Let me sign over. Swear, should be lagging. Okay, I'm a screen share. Open panel, guys. Open panel. Anybody that wants to join the panel. Pretty much a slow day. Got done handling with my team. Okay. I'm Share my screen. Okay, we're gonna look at these houses. I hope people can be able to see. But I'm scrolling down. I'm looking at stuff in Decatur. Uh, uh, Because Atlanta, Georgia is pretty much having their share of development running through, and I think they have like a train that they're trying to be able to develop, and anybody that's near them the train tracks, they're gonna get cashed out heavily. But yes, here's the one, Holly Berry, Decatur, Georgia, 160. If somebody say if someone had cash, say if somebody had like 115 in cash, I think somebody can be able to get a equity play off of this. If they had 115, $120,000 in cash, they could pretty much pick this one off. But I like this. Um, the grass area, do some improvements there. Really, I would charge monthly on rent higher than this 761. I would try to see if I can squeeze 975 or $1,000 at least a month in order to get a 10% cap rate due to the fact that 115,000 potentially negotiated, 120 negotiated in cash. And with a cash offer, people are going to take it more than you relying on credit, you finance in the bank and all that stuff. If you come with cash on hand, you can be able to steal this 160 property for 120. Say if you have development skills and you can be able to build inside the house, build out the backyard, you can probably sell this off probably 220, or get a appraiser that can be able to appraise it at 220 and refinance and leverage and rinse and repeat. But this is pretty much a value add play. Let me look at some facts. Yes, the backyard definitely needs, if you can be able to develop, say if somebody had like real developer skills and can develop a pool, cutting some of the trees down, getting a pool, and that probably will take permits, and I would be like a developer and getting a general partnership with a developer in order to get that done. Plus, you can leverage to the developer his permits, and you can be able to do your thing and get access. But this property, this is the one I was looking at, Decatur. Having a joint in Decatur would be, I don't know, that would be a play for me. I was thinking about several markets, either because with me it's going to be Vegas, but I want a state where I can invest in. I was thinking about Houston. I was thinking about Virginia. I was thinking about North Carolina, Florida, of course, Georgia. But when it comes to these properties, if you have cash on hand and everything, people are going to take it, because there's certain areas where, like Austin has a fast turnover where properties can last 6 to 8 days on the market. CT, if you want to join the panel, please. The link is in the chat. I'm located in Vegas. Yeah, I pretty much frequent from Vegas to California, so I'm pretty much going to make Vegas my prime residency and make it happen like that. when it comes to um, the properties and decisions that I'm making, it's pretty much either A, I can either sell my e-commerce business in order to cash out, in order to finance. B, just keep on scaling correctly. Okay, I'm in Chicago area. It's a rental boom here. Okay, you doing an Airbnb joint, or you got yourself an asset that you're cash flowing out? You know, please elaborate more. I like when we got people taking advantage of pretty much this boom. I'm investing in Gary, Indiana right now. Uh, how's the crime in Gary? Um, if I may, if I may ask, how's the crime in Gary? Has the crime is it lawless like it is in St. Louis? I'm looking for a house for myself. Okay, for sure, man. Get to the asset, man. Like people are gonna try to distort you and say, "Oh, it's gonna crash anyway. The market's gonna crash anyway." That's a terrible outlook to have. That's a horrible outlook because you're gonna miss your chance and opportunity easily. It's getting better and better, but it's still high. Bro, genius, please. The link is in the chat. The link is definitely in the chat. Need more people. Need more people to get involved. Because with Chicago, uh, I'm not necessarily familiar with Chicago. I just know that a lot of people have a strong commercial real estate portfolio. The brothers that I've been in contact with, they have strong apartment uh, assets there because it shows that Chicago is pretty much always going to have people willing to pay those type of rents, and it shows very strong cash on cash, stable returns, et cetera, et cetera. But when it comes to the real estate market, and they saying that people are gonna have this debt crisis, I think that certain markets is gonna still be strong. It depends on the incomes, the jobs, uh, positioning, and also if they're entrepreneurs and business owners themselves, because really more and more people are still going to find ability to make income because this is America. It ain't. I don't believe in doom and gloom. I don't believe in doom and gloom at all. Like I'm gonna look at some more assets and properties. Oh, Ramir, shit, my man Ramir. Shit, my brother man in the chat. That's funny. Salute to you, Ramil. But yeah, I'm looking at shit in Georgia. Shit in Georgia. Uh, shit. Damn thing done kicked me off. Okay. How do you set up a profitable Shopify business? Well, for one thing, Wadner, I have consultations, but I'm going to tell you this. When it comes to developing your concept, you need to find a concept, you need to figure out which product that you're selling. Two, you need to have a strong team around you. You would have to have your source of traffic already pinpointed. Google, Bing, SEO. Those are the three main ones. So, yeah, Wadner, yo, if you have any questions, man, hop on the panel, man. Because if you don't, man, it's going to be a consultation. And any consultations that I do, it's definitely not for free. But I'm going to tell you, when it comes to setting up a profitable Shopify business, it's definitely going to take understanding of what's your supplier. Because really, if you can find your supplier first, if you focus on finding USA suppliers and having a niche like that, pretty much you can't help but to be in the right corner of success. So pretty much is your USA supplier and generate the traffic, man. The better you can generate your traffic, and the better that you can capture emails and follow up. Because the more and more you pretty much strategize on that, generate the traffic, USA suppliers, you can pretty much have 2 of the 3 components already nailed down. When it comes to my form of job shipping, I do high tickets, so I do hire customer service people in order to get the job done. A lot of the stuff that I do is pretty much assigning work, pretty much managing and monitoring. They do the internal work and all of the necessary grunt work, as I would say. But really, it's me just assigning teams, because all the grunt work they can handle. I have the budget ready for my marketing, and I just give direct orders. Like, I just need data analytical people that's good with numbers, that's very good with traffic, that can be able to build a great funnel as well. Because capturing the email, banning carts, text, SMS, I just have that handled. But yeah, man, we just need more people just to understand that you got to have the business to generate. Do you do the ads though, right? I do run my ads. I do run my personal ads by myself, but I also have to construct my team. Like, when it comes to running my ads, I want my team to understand that I need commercial intent keywords that's ready for buy. 2, I need negative keywords, so I don't have people that's clicking for Walmart and Amazon, pretty much wasting my clicks and wasting my budget. So it's really a combination of making sure you got the right keywords, 2, making sure that you cancel out any less keywords, and making sure that your budget is adequate. Like, a lot of people want to start with their budget $10 a day. That's good. Really, $30 a day is pretty much preferable if you want to have some volume under you. But when it comes to the ads, I do run my ads, but I instruct my team. I give a benchmark of what needs to be done. I need retargeting, remarketing, that pretty much recycle and recover all your traffic. So yeah, man, I'm pretty much, I'm more like a manager than really the technical. Because really, I tell people to get somebody that is technical, assign them, pay them, get them on the roster. I want people to be more, not necessarily shrewd per se, but if you can be able to get very cheap, highly motivated workers, you utilize them as well. Because there's a lot of workers that I use. One worker, I pay her $3.50, $3.50. And it's a long-term contract, and she gives me the most motivated work possible. So utilizing the cheap labor ability to leverage that worker's craft and skill, you can pretty much get some good cash flow going. Plus, with high ticket and USA suppliers, you're pretty much in a more stable model than a China type model. But let me get back to this real estate. But yeah, Dante, that's pretty much. Oh, okay. Oh, I made money by doing my own ads. That's the money. Well, Dante, salute to you, man. Tactician like that, doing it by yourself. That's amazing work. That needs to be saluted. But yes, let's get back to. Let me research if I can find something in commercial real estate indicator. Oh yeah, man. This is open panel too, man. Somebody need to come up, man. I got a girl working for me. Yeah, online jobs, PH. Yeah, man. Them Filipinos, they do a lot of motivated work. They're good with the English. You can be able to hear them enunciate words correctly. The text is very well prompt. What do you think are the best business career paths to take in college? Gerald, salute. I think the best business career paths to take in college, a lot of people would say business administration. I never went to college. I was studying on my business sophomore year in high school. You know, I managed to make my money on e-commerce, back and forth from California to Vegas. So I'm right now, I'm probably the age of somebody that was supposed to be going to college. 'Cause I'm 24. So I would say business administration, but really, in college, they teaching you to be a worker bee. They're not teaching you to be the boss. It's not going to be the mindset of a boss. But if you are in college and if you want to be like a CFO, CEO type levels, it's your networking. You got to network with people in college. You got to have the technical people, the people that's like the tech wizards that's potentially can create the next big tech startup. But I would say use your books to be able to understand the step-by-step of business, but create your own business as well. So you can be able to get the hands-on training, because the book can teach you the theory. Like, that's why with Boyce Watkins, like he is a finance PhD, I believe, but he will only teach you the more like the theory than actually him building his own business, and he can teach you by actual practical, real world, pragmatic solutions, strategy. When it comes to like business, man, business administration, because you do have your managerial type joints, but yeah, Gerald, focus on business management, administration, and economics, because I study my economics book to this day, every day. And also look into statistics, because it's going to be more likely the business is going to be more digital anyway. So statistics, and say if you got enough money aside, go hire you some coders to be able to code up some apps, test the waters out. You can utilize that cheap labor, use it to your advantage, leverage it, use it to your advantage, understand management. That's why I said business management, manage the teams, learn how to be able to be not more direct, but stern when it comes to your team. It has to be blunt, very blunt and clear and upfront. And when it comes to that segment, man, college, I'm not knocking college. There's a lot of people that say not everybody can be business person, businessman, businesswoman. Cool. But at least be invest in some form of asset. Like real estate is pretty much something I'm always going to keep barking about. But yeah, let me look at It's open panel, man. Somebody needs to come through. About to. Somebody needs to come through and talk about their business that they have. Any questions? Oh yeah, in my email, I'm gonna put down for anybody that needs consultations. When you were 19, 18, 19, my mindset was positioned at dominating, and my parents hated that. And they still hate that. They don't like the Michael Jordan mentality. They have the put your head down, be calm, and nah. Because I was always a shit talker, and that's my mindset. Always was a shit talker, and always will be. But it's just having a strong mindset early and out the gate. Are you Gen Z? I'm 96. 90, 96, that's what is that, Gen Z? I don't know. Somebody needs to come on the panel, man. The link is in the chat. Did you say Shopify gives you a hard time about AliExpress? No, actually, Shopify is very friendly when it comes to AliExpress. It's really the Chinese suppliers are the unspecialists. Oh, okay, if I am Gen Z, cool. I thought I was a millennial. I thought they put me in the millennial cast. But Dante, when it comes to AliExpress and Shopify, nah. It's really the Chinese supplies. Like, I can't have 20, 30 days shipping. That's not a very stable way how to operate a business. But USA suppliers on AliExpress, man, you can get fast shipping times. That is funny. Yeah, I thought that was a millennial, man. I thought that was a millennial. Man, it's an open panel. Somebody hop on. I ain't trying to have this dialogue all by myself now. But yeah, man, when it comes to people getting into real estate, more men getting into real estate, I love it. More men getting into business, I love it. People are against credit, but I utilize credit as well. And I got people that I can be able to help you get contact as well. Okay, the broke genius.
Yeah,
Salute.
what's going on, real deal? If I get a call, I'm doing remote work, IT support work. So if I get a call, I gotta hop off. But for now, I could talk a little bit. Um,
For sure, man. Salute to you.
Salute. So I saw you on like Ramil's channel, very knowledgeable about marketing, online marketing. Um, I was talking about real estate in the chat. So right now, well, I'm a investor, a real estate investor. I've bought about four properties since I was about 28. I'm 40 now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm on my fourth property. I bought a house in Gary with a land contract.
I hope you hear the clapping, man.
Oh, thanks, thanks.
I hope you hear the clapping, man. Salute to
I
you,
was
man.
like, damn, what the hell was that?
Nah, man, that was me clapping. My bad, but salute.
I
That's beautiful.
appreciate it. So the purpose of buying a property was just to just get some place to live, because like I was living with my sister. I was going through some legal battles, but so I'm in the middle of a rehab. So I'm just kind of like the house that I got is probably like 20,000 in repairs, just roughly estimated. So it's a corner lot that's no houses on that I also own. The contract was for about 10 grand. So I put down 3 grand initially, and then another it's like 24 payments of like $324 a month. So I've been paying that and also fixing the house up. I'm going half on it with a friend of mine. But Gary, the crime is bad. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, but Gary is kind of weird because it
Yeah,
has
man.
oh
Yeah, man.
hello.
I'm still listening,
Oh,
dog.
oh yeah, yeah. So it's like parts and segments where it's like really, really nice, and it's blocks where it's bad. So it's not like it's not all bad. So like where I'm at, it's like I would say close to the nice part of town because it's like close to Maryville. It's in like University Park. So it's wide open, man. It's a lot of vacant houses. Um, the cheap entry level. That's why I hopped on it. Very cheap entry level. So I mean, you can get a house like fixed up and everything for like 50 grand. I mean, the rent is cheap though too, but I mean you'll get your money back within like five years.
For sure,
You
man.
know,
That's a great play. That's a great
yeah.
play.
The Chicagoland area is a little bit higher. Depends on where you trying to go. Like in the hood, you can get a house like fixed up like 60, 70 grand. The rent you'll get is higher than you would get in Gary or Northwest Indiana. So you can get a house like or single family home for like 70 grand and you can rent it out for about $1,000 a month, get Section 8, and you know, maybe in about 7 to 8 years get your money back. I mean, you'll be
Oh shit.
It'll be like printing money.
Oh,
Um, hold on. I think my
okay.
my,
Yeah, my
it's my
bad, Kev. My
microphone.
bad.
My
I
microphone.
thought you needed it.
No, it's me. Let me plug it back in. I got one of those USB microphones.
yeah. So the bed, like my laptop, is good now, but yeah. So what I was saying was that you'll be printing money after you get your return on your investment back. So that's what you ultimately like. That's the ultimate goal of an investor to get all your money you put in back, and then you literally creating your own money. You print money basically.
Yep. That residual income, man. Is y'all rents like at 1,300? Because in the hood in LA, man, a lot of the joints be like around um around 1,100, twelve
Yeah,
hundred in the hood. Like that's
yeah, yeah. It's like that. Well, it got to be really nice. So typically, like, yeah, like you could actually, yeah, people are paying that for like 4 bedroom house, like hardwood floors, kitchens like decked out marble kitchen countertops, maybe granite, stainless steel appliances. The whole like the house is completely renovated. Yeah, you can get like $1,200 in the hood. You know, somebody with probably a Section 8 voucher, like they'll pay the Section 8 voucher, pay like $800, and then they pay like $400 out of pocket, or no, yeah, $400 out of pocket. Yeah, they do that all day long. They doing that right now. That's pretty much the going rate for something like really nice, like a 4 bedroom house. If you looked on like Craigslist or look on Realtor.com.
for sure, man. For sure, man. That's a beautiful play right there. You believe in refinancing or nah? You just trying to keep your equity?
I really don't like messing around with loans unless it's like a play on it, like where like if you wanted to get something and I would like use a loan, but I don't like playing around with them loans and stuff. I mean,
Okay, for
yeah.
sure, for sure, for sure. The unspecialist.
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. Salute to you.
All right, good. Salute, salute. Nah, I mean, your audience kind of small right now, but I love to see these kind of discussions because these are the kind of important discussions we should be having, especially as young men. Um, concerning business and pretty much how we could get moving from the word go, because I don't know what it is, but it seems a lot of guys think that the 20s is time to waste, when in fact it should be, when you're trying to get the most shit done, because, these are your most vibrant and productive years. So I just like to see, conversations like this. But to contribute to the real estate topic that you guys on right now, something I see personally, I don't necessarily favor this method because it involves a lot of trust. And in today's time, it's very difficult to find a group of guys you could trust. But what I've seen guys do as well is maybe a group of 3 or 4 guys that would have been renting a spot to begin with come together and buy a property with 4 or 5 units outright. And then they rent the remainder, and that works as income for them while they maybe, go to college or work or something like that. And then they do that for about 4 or 5 years. But stuff like that involves, preferably involves contracts and stuff like that, because I've seen it go bad as well. Because guys do, the whole word of mouth thing. Oh, okay, bro, in 5 years we're gonna whatever, and then it doesn't work out, ends up in court, and then we have, a broken friendship. So I just want to know what you guys' thoughts on that.
Well, that's literally what I did, what I'm doing now. So my friend from like college, like 20 years ago, we just we just made a pact like we're gonna find something to get out of our living situation, and at the
Right,
very least we'll have like a bachelor pad or whatever. So
right.
we just went 50-50 down the middle. Now, am I having issues with them? Hell yeah. Nigga owe me like $1,000 because
Yeah, that's
I
that's that's the big issue. Continue. Sorry.
yeah, so I'm in the middle of trying to get projects done in the house. So what was done so far was outside we needed the roof done, fixed up, the siding, the soffit fascia and stuff like that. So the inside work, was gonna start that, but it's kind of like log jam because he owes me $1,000, and then I got to use my money to pay everything. And if let's say he gave me that money, I could pay for other projects to go along with that. So now I got to stop everything and look at it like it's like my house by myself and just do it like if I was doing it by myself, which would take some time. But if I had him, you know, putting up money like I'm putting up, we would be halfway done at this point.
Yeah, that's the thing, because that's something I'm hoping to do once myself and my friend gets the funds up. But I've seen it happen with, like I said, I've seen it happen successfully, and I've seen it fail as well. You seem to be somewhere in the middle, because it's not failing, but it could be much further along if your friend was pulling,
Yeah,
pulling his weight. And
definitely.
but definitely I see it as something that's effective, because for instance, in successful instances, what I've seen is guys literally move from one property, and then because in maybe 5 6 years, because they're doing other things, they progress in their careers. Within 5 6 years, they move from that initial property to 3 4 properties, and they either break off and go their separate ways, or they actually turn it into a business and then just keep going that way. So, you know, I see it as something that is potentially profitable and useful for guys to consider. But yeah, bro, the hardest part is finding somebody you could trust to work and work with you. Productivity, that's the hardest thing to find, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it
man, I'm
is.
gonna need y'all to rock out, man. I think I need to reset my computer. I'm trying to screen share so we can be able to get into the commercial real estate analysis, try to figure out which markets, which big boy joints that you rocking with. But yeah, just rock out.
Okay,
All right,
okay.
cool, no problem.
Yeah. So where you at? What is it?
Yeah,
Specialist?
specialist. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm actually in the Caribbean right now.
Okay.
In the process of moving. So, but currently right now I'm actually in Guyana, this country in South America.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, I'm in the process of moving. Kind of just got out of college, so basically, now getting my life on the way per se.
Oh, okay. So you in paradise, man. All of the beautiful women and all of the beaches. You at where people try to escape, like people go on vacation.
Right. You see, yeah. Listen, with every how do I say? With every benefit, there's drawbacks. For instance, because I work in tourism, so I could tell you that yeah. Listen, for instance, being in Saint Lucia, because that's where I'm originally from.
Mhm.
Uh, listen, no matter where you are on the island, you're probably about 10, 15 minutes away from a beach, and that kind of life helps sometimes to make you complacent because life is just so comfortable, and for the most part, your family tends to maybe grow a certain amount of your own food and so on. So you kind of get a bit complacent, and you don't necessarily have that dog mentality to to go out and get it. And then in addition to that, too, the economy isn't as great as maybe a place like the United States, maybe even Canada as well. So what tends to happen is you get trapped in like a small box with small dreams. So there's benefits, yeah, there's drawbacks too, because as well, like land prices here are cheaper comparatively speaking. But the thing is that your salary or your income as well may be lower depending on your qualifications.
Mhm.
So it's the playing field is a lot different,
Yeah.
and uh, what tends to happen, like I said, you get trapped in that small box with small dreams, and
Mhm.
people tend to not try to strive,
Mhm.
for the highest heights, and that's really bad because what you have is you have foreigners coming in now and buying the beachfront properties, buying the hilltop properties because those are the properties that people who want to come on vacation now are clamoring for.
Mhm.
So let me give you a good example. I was in Grenada, and this is a property on a hill. The house is dilapidated. It looks
Mhm.
totally messed up. But
Mhm.
because it overlooks a bay, do you want to guess the list price for the house?
It overlooks a bay, maybe
Yeah,
a
it
hundred
overlooks a bay.
thousand dollars.
Nah, bro. 750,000 is the list price.
Wow.
And it's totally dilapidated, which means you have to break it down and build something totally new.
Right. Yeah.
So that's the price, despite the fact that it's broken down.
Mhm.
So that's how expensive like beachfront properties, hilltop properties can get in the Caribbean. And 750,000 is pretty low actually. If you watch $1 Million Listing on HGTV, you'll
Mhm.
see other properties in the Caribbean, places like Saint Lucia, Barbados, Saint Vincent, etc.,
Mhm.
going 1 million plus, 2 million plus.
Mhm.
Properties that like have been developed and were formerly owned by celebrities too, you could go even higher, 5 to 10 million even.
Mhm.
So, and what's funny about this is actually some of these properties were owned by locals first.
Mhm.
But what happened is they sold the property and decided, let me give you a good example. I know of one where they sold the property to move to, I believe, Canada and like start a life over there. The property they sold when they sold it was somewhere around the 100 to like $350,000 range, but by the time maybe 10, 15 years later, property value quadruple
Mhm.
because now that location is in demand for a vacation home or a timeshare or something like that.
Yeah.
So, bruh, it's ridiculous,
Yeah.
and I don't think uh, a lot of people, especially young people, realize how valuable property and owning land really is.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. So does building materials are do they have like building materials, is it easy to get there or that has to be freighted in?
Okay,
Um
well, it depends. Depends on like which island you're in and where you're trying to build. Because if you're building on, say, the side of a hill, the materials are going to be different, and the cost to build is going to be different as well. Because remember, these countries are affected by hurricanes as well too.
right.
So you're going to have to build your foundation a certain way, that kind of thing. For the
Mhm.
most part, I'd say building materials are available because yeah, building materials are available, but the best places to be if you want easy access to a wide variety of building materials would probably be Trinidad, Barbados, or Guyana, Jamaica too.
Oh,
But
Okay.
for the smaller islands, yeah, man, stuff like clay bricks, clay blocks too, cinder blocks, the steel rebar, all that stuff is available. It's just that the cost might be higher depending on where you are, because in some places they're not manufactured there;
Mm.
they're all imported.
Is it earthquake proof?
Well,
Like, does
that
it
too.
does it give way? Does it pancake? Does it pancake like in the DR?
Well, the thing is they're building codes in, well, as I don't know the case for all the islands, but for instance in Trinidad they are building codes, but the problem is enforcement. Enforcement is one of the biggest issues. A lot of people don't obey the building codes, so a house goes up, hurricane hits or earthquake hits, and then you have landslides, or somebody's house falls down, causes injury and stuff. But generally, once people obey the building codes, there's relatively there's minimal damage.
But
Okay, because
yeah.
I was just trying to figure out, like, don't get me wrong, like, investing in Jamaica, yeah, man, if you can find something that's on the island and everything, and if your money translate very well, yeah, man, do what you please, do what you please. But resorts, I don't know, maybe matter of fact, if this website would research, I can find out if there's any international resorts for sale, and we could be able to see the price on what's going on with that. Let me,
Because what a lot of people are doing now is like they do
yeah.
B&Bs. So, for instance, a lecturer I had, she turned a property into basically an Airbnb spot. Um, rents out lists the different units on Airbnb. Um,
Mhm.
that's pretty same thing in Barbados too. Like that's what a lot of people do. But like you said, yeah, that's really important. Is if you want to invest in property there, um, ensuring that it's built properly is really important, because you don't want to have to be making massive repairs every 3 to 5 years because a hurricane might hit or earthquake might hit. And that's another important thing too. People tend to like to avoid making that high initial investment because they're like, oh, that's too expensive. But what they don't realize is the money you spend on the front end, you save on the back end because it saves you less trouble.
Okay, resorts, Jamaican resorts for sale. Let's see. Jamaican resorts for sale.
But if you're looking at like an island where you don't have to worry about hurricanes, volcanoes, or tornadoes, not this island,
That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be
but
tough.
right, no. So I'm getting to that. Barbados is one, but the problem with Barbados is property is very expensive there because the rich and famous pretty much treat that like a playground. So that's pretty much out. The property is hella expensive in Barbados, especially if you're a foreigner. But somewhere else that you wouldn't have to worry about hurricanes, volcanoes, all of that is actually in South America. Guyana and Suriname are two options as well. But you wouldn't the drawback though is you wouldn't get the beautiful pristine beaches, and you wouldn't necessarily get the island landscape. That's that's the drawback to it. You kind of
Okay,
have to be more of a nature
Westmoreland.
lover.
Man, they got all Westmoreland. They must have did that in the named Westmoreland that the 70s, or is that it does? Wait a minute, Jamaica's British. Uh, if y'all got if Jamaica's got to go to court, they got to go to Britain, right?
Um, I'm actually not sure. Jamaica is part of CARICOM, so the highest court should be the CCJ. But a lot of Caribbean countries, even though they're part of CARICOM, they have the Privy Council as the highest authority. So maybe I can't say for certain, but that's likely. Yeah.
Okay. I saw the fact that a lot of Jamaicans,
Place names are British. Yeah.
yeah, they're British influenced.
Mm. You'll find some
Okay,
Spanish
let's.
place names as well.
Oh yeah, like Spanish Town.
Yeah, Otorios. There's a few others as well.
Okay, let's. Hopefully, this thing would just load so I can look at the resorts. Cause looking at the prices just off the what the Google search said. There's like hotels for 8 million.
Yep.
Okay, this is for 1.3. This is a 2.5. This is a 22.5 Hanover. Man, these things is okay. This is
Yeah, I told you.
Ocho
I told
Rio
you.
San. Okay,
Yeah, I
okay.
was telling
Well,
Broke
I'm
Genius.
looking at it. I'm looking at this, man. This Jamaica looks gorgeous, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was telling Broke Genius properties that maybe 30, 40 years ago were just about 100,000. Because what tends to happen is Caribbean destinations get popular in waves because they pretty much offer all the same things, sun, sea, sand, and different degrees in nature. So they tend to reinvent themselves every decade and change or so. So when they get popular in waves, what tends to happen is property prices skyrocket. So before air travel was so easy, so maybe 50, 40 to 60 years ago, some of these properties you could have gotten, and factor in inflation as well. Some of these properties you could have gotten less than 100,000, now in the millions.
Damn, this is shit. Make me want to just say, all right, man, I'm moving my ass to Jamaica to my resort mansion. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is dope.
That's a long-term investment, you
Yeah,
know.
it is, and the thing is too, you don't necessarily have to look as as high ticket as like how do I say, as resorts and that kind of thing. If you look at just houses in suburban areas, those are going to be much cheaper and they can pull a lot of value because especially younger to middle aged travelers who come on vacation, instead of going to a hotel, they probably book a Airbnb, and that's a good means of income, for some people. And for overseas persons, what I've seen, you can't necessarily do this in all countries because different countries have restrictions on overseas persons buying land and property because they're islands. But what you'll see is maybe a foreigner will buy a house or be invested in a house, and they rent it out while they're not there, but then that becomes maybe their vacation spot. Again, these
Yeah.
are more wealthy persons. This is not for the average person to consider, but this is an example. Those are the kind of things that happen.
You want to take like, let's say we were looking at this, like we had the money, we had $50 million as a group.
Right.
You want to look at, of course, how many rooms there are or villas.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then another thing I was thinking about is like you could like expand on that by offering like a outside villa that's like for a cheaper price. You
Mm-hmm.
know, some people they don't even mind or probably even prefer to have like a little like um
Almost like
hammock
a
or
cottage or a
something.
hut. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Got you.
and like live outside a little bit, like, but it's still contained somewhat, maybe with a mosquito net. And
Yeah. If you look,
It's 10 acres.
sorry
It's a
sorry to
10
cut you.
acre.
20 bedrooms.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, so you take the bedrooms, and then maybe you could say you can expand with like 10 outside, like little outside villas where it has a mosquito net. Everything's clean and sanitized, and then maybe it has like an outdoor shower, before like a discounted price. I mean, you look at the numbers, and then you gotta have some security. um I don't know about I heard about the violence in Jamaica, but you want to have security and all of the other costs associated. I mean, you might be all right after maybe about 10 years, if you
So
do the numbers.
let me dispel a few myths about the Caribbean. So yeah, in a lot of the Caribbean countries, Jamaica being one, crime is a big issue. Violence, yes, that's a big issue. But the vast majority of crime is criminal on criminal. The it's not like maybe I don't know, Southside Chicago, you get caught, a stray bullet is gonna catch you. Nah,
Mm,
that's rarely the case. And for the most part as well, the various tourism bodies do their best to give tourists places where it's good for them to go, safe for them to go, and places where they're not. And
yeah.
then as well, if you're moving with a local, or you have somebody local guiding you, taking you around the place, or dealing with official companies as well, you for the most part you're not gonna have any issues at all.
Yeah. Well,
For
yeah.
instance, the places where most of the tourist activity is concentrated, perfectly fine. However, though, if you end up you catch yourself somewhere in the hood, well, you know,
Mm,
you're gonna
yeah.
have some problems.
Yeah.
But that's how it is.
Well, we are business because of the nature of like reviews. Because like I just started a couple. I got a couple businesses that I'm trying to get off, and I put my advertising on Yelp. Like if you got bad
Okay.
reviews, like say you own that resort and you got bad reviews, people blowing up your spot. It's nothing you could do about that, man.
Oh yeah,
People,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, people will tell you what's wrong. Like, I stepped outside like the resort area for like only maybe a block away, and then someone took my wallet, and so I had a horrible vacation because of that. I had to cancel all of my credit cards and blah blah blah. I mean, so it's like, yeah, you gotta make sure everything is Trump tight. And then you'll make money, I think, in the long run. I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know how long it would take, but let's just say you had a resort and you say you worked in basically a resort or whatever tourism. If you got like a good resort where companies, you got contract with companies, you got contracts with timeshares and all of that type of stuff, you gonna make that money back. I don't know how much, but you gotta imagine. I mean, how much does a vacation cost to Jamaica? Like the average cost. Um,
Hmm.
it's got to be some thousands
Yeah,
for a week.
it's
5 Gs,
yeah.
five
Yeah,
Gs for a week.
If you want to spend more than a night or two, it's gonna be in the thousands.
Especially if you want
Um,
to do a play. If you really want to be playing with it, it's gonna
Yeah, and
take
if you want
five
to travel
Gs.
and visit different spots and so on, yeah, especially if you're traveling, say like as a family or as a couple, it's going to be more expensive. Individually, not so much. Especially if you know what you're doing, you can actually do a really cheap individual, you know, go by yourself and move around and stuff like that. But
mm,
if you want all the amenities
this got
and
me
that kind of
thinking,
stuff, yeah,
man.
it's very expensive.
This got me
Um,
thinking.
This is why I created my channel, man. More brothers need to be thinking. But salute, yeah, dude. This could be $100,000 a month potentially if you can find that high profile client. Say like the celebrities, they jump on like $97,000 is pretty much a month. Say if
yeah,
I
but
want to be able to rent this out to a high baller client, and that's pretty much me doing the networking. I would have to do the marketing to like
right.
multimillionaires, probably on Facebook, Instagram, shit
But
like
you want
that.
to know who the best people to go after, not even the multimillionaires. We're talking people like doctors, engineers, and stuff that are making between that 100,000 to maybe 500,000 range, maybe a little bit more. And the ones that don't want that sterile hotel kind of experience, they want a more organic experience. What a lot of them do is they actually rent out a house literally for maybe a month or two, and they kind of stay low key, just kind of stay low key on the island. And if you don't know them and you're not the actual, owner of the house dealing with them, you'd never know that that's the kind of money they're making. But those are actually uh, the how do I say it? The good clients. Now, if you have like a villa and it's fully outfitted, because that's what a lot of resorts have actually started to do. Well, they've been doing this for a while, but more of them are doing it now. They actually add onto their list of properties luxury villas, and they're renting those out. The villas now those rent out, especially for longer periods, to to the celebrities and so on. So, for instance, let's say a guy like Drake comes to, because I think Drake was it Barbados the other day? I think it was Barbados. He while down there will most likely rent out a luxury villa, or he'll be at the best 5-star hotel if he's just there for a short time. But if he's coming for maybe a week or 2, 3 weeks, that kind of thing, it's most likely gonna be a luxury villa.
Punta Cana, Punta Cana, DR.
Oh, speaking of something, Broke Genius was talking about. Yeah, I when I was in the DR, I didn't have a bad experience, but I know someone that did, who was staying at the resort I was staying at, and yeah, they got robbed. funny thing is, the funny thing is, I walked right where they walked, maybe about 5 minutes after, and it was perfectly fine. But they got robbed, and they wrote a bad review about the resort, despite, in my opinion, the resort being pretty damn good in terms of the service, all that stuff. But yeah, they wrote a bad review, and you're right. Stuff like that is really hard to shake as a resort, because what a lot of people do, remember, people trying to save as much money as possible, and they don't they very, generally speaking, the average traveler is actually apprehensive. They're
Yeah.
not risk takers,
No.
right? They're not risk takers. So what they do is they'll look up a property, and the first thing they do is they look at the bad reviews.
Yeah.
Not even the best reviews, they look at the bad reviews. They'll see what is the worst thing people had to say about this property, and many times they'll pick the property that had the least bad things said about it. So what tends to happen actually is, behind the scenes, properties will deal with customers that had bad experiences and try to get them to not
Remove that
necessarily recant.
review.
Yeah, right. Not necessarily to recant their statement, but sometimes, yeah, to go that far, to remove the review, or to edit the review, so that it doesn't affect business. Because I can tell you, a bad review of maybe your hotel restaurant, or just an experience in the hotel itself, is really bad for business.
Yeah.
And the
And not
problem with
even,
that,
yeah, not even hotels. I mean, everything.
yeah, everything. And what's bad about it too, because I've been on both sides, like I said, as the customer and as the service provider. What tends to happen as well is you have to be careful, because some clients as well are predatory. So you'll have predatory clients now who come, basically deliberately trying to extort you by threatening bad reviews for non-issues
Mm,
sometimes.
wow.
And that's a problem that I've experienced directly, actually. And in the Caribbean, that's where it comes to as well. There's an image of the American traveler. It's usually a middle-aged white couple, middle-aged to old white couple, and they come down, and everybody assumes, oh, they have money. But I can tell you straight up, bro, a lot of them are broke, right? And
Mm,
the typical profile of a predatory tourist or client, whatever you want to call it, is young to middle age, broke. They save maybe 3, 4 years just to afford this trip, right? And they come down, and what they try to do, they try to basically extort refunds out of businesses, so that they can spend that money on something else. If you understand what I'm saying.
mm,
So, for instance, we had a couple that did that to a company I was working with, and they claimed that they were leaving the country. We ended One of the my co-workers actually saw them at a concert maybe 2 or 3 days later, when they said they were leaving. And then we figured out what they did. What they did was, they basically threatened us for a refund, and then spend that money to go to the concert. They're basically recycling the money.
mhm. Yeah.
So predatory clients do stuff like that all the time. They do it for food, like for petty things, just like food, drinks, even. It's ridiculous, and that's where the managers have to be very ruthless. They can't always be, the friendly, okay, everything's gonna be okay manager. And sometimes, even legal teams have to get involved. It can get utterly ridiculous, but that's kind of the dark, grimy side of the business. On the bright side, the vast majority of people are, you know, genuine people. They come to have fun, come to relax, enjoy the sun, see sand, and experience maybe the culture and see some of the island. But like I was saying, the average traveler is actually very apprehensive. They're not risk takers, and that's just generally in life, even in business. I'm sure Jonathan can agree to that. Is the vast majority of people are risk averse. They damn sure not gonna stick their head out for fear of it being chopped off,
Mm.
and that's where those with a business mindset, maybe a wolf or hunter mindset, can
Yeah,
actually take advantage of. Because if you know that's the mentality of those around you, you can find ways to take advantage of that for your profit.
yeah.
I don't-
On eBay and Amazon, one bad review can like stammer your business. Like if you're not doing that much volume, if you like starting off, like one bad review can literally like have people not like make your sales volume go down.
Yep.
I mean, I'm just talking about one, not even like multiple, but just one. So like people now like cuz I just sell on eBay. I don't sell on Amazon. I'm trying to get back on Amazon, but it's been kind of difficult. But with eBay, they want you to have 100% feedback.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. I
so,
know it is.
yeah.
And what's rough, right? And I'm not sure if you had this experience, but it's rough as well for up and coming products, because let's say you've only sold 500 units, right?
Mm,
And you out of the 500 units, not necessarily on eBay, but say on Amazon, and
yeah.
you've only had about 60 reviews. If you've had 5 bad reviews, despite 495 of your other clients are perfectly fine with your product, no bad reviews, but you had 5 bad reviews, that could
Mm,
that could significantly affect the curve of your product, because
yeah.
you're still in the growth phase, and those bad reviews just totally destroy your growth phase.
Yeah.
So I know what you mean. It's really rough. And sometimes what upsets me, but again, having been on both sides of the business, I can understand is some complaints from clients are not valid. Like it's some useless complaints,
Mm,
right? But because what tends to happen is, though, the average client as well, again, doesn't have a total understanding of the product, right?
mm,
So they'll comment negatively on something that really wasn't a problem. So it's the onus is always on you as the business, the seller, whatever, to go above and beyond to meet the needs of the client.
yeah. Is Hawaii on that on their real deal? Hawaii? Because I've been to Hawaii before when I was in the Navy. It's
Mm-hmm.
really nice.
Well, I'd love to check Hawaii out sometime in the future, but what I've heard about Hawaii, though, especially as it relates to property, is that a lot of the property is being bought up over there by millionaires and billionaires, and the locals are
Ho-
starting to have problems with that.
you said Hawaii,
Yeah.
Kauai, the island. Which island specifically? Because
Oh.
we doing market research right now.
Oh.
Barbados will be next, and Hawaii. Yeah, yeah, man. People in the
Maui,
chat, man. Yeah, Maui,
Honolulu,
Honolulu.
Honolulu. Um, that's all I know. I don't
Okay,
even. Yeah,
okay.
Honolulu. My yeah, but yeah, but yeah, that one that you was looking at in Jamaica, I'm like, if it could be negotiated, let's say the 10 down to 10 million. I mean, that's just a few millionaires putting their money together in a group, and then there you go. Like, just go down there, make it tight the way you want it, set it up, make sure your security's good. Might have like some cameras set up, like some hidden cameras set up, and let your people know that there's hidden cameras, and then there you go. I gotta go, fellas. I got a client. Sorry.
All good, bro. Good talking. Yeah, I gotta go in about 6 minutes myself because I got work too, remote work, just like Brook G.
Man, my shit be tripping. My shit be tripping.
What,
I've
your
been
PC?
kicked out. Yeah, I've been kicked out 3 times. This funny. But yeah, man. Salute to you for being on the panel, man.
Yeah, man. The first place I saw you actually was
Uh,
on Ramil's, and I mean it's never a good idea to assume age by voices. But as soon as I heard you, I'm like, yeah, this guy's young. This
what?
guy's young.
Well, hey, man. I actually got some good stats behind me. You know, when it comes to e-commerce, I do my thing.
Oh,
When
no,
it
no,
comes
for
to trading
sure.
stocks, I do my thing as well. But
Now, for sure, I gotta respect that. But I'm just saying though, is as soon as I heard you, I'm like, yeah, this guy is young, and that's actually why what you're doing is really good, because you know we need to show a lot more young people that you could be running from the time the gun is fired. Like so many people think that uh you building or like moving forward in life is gonna happen later. It's gonna happen later. No, the moment you could start being productive or economically productive, you should try your best to do so. It's gonna make life a lot easier later down the road. So many people spend and all the years in college not building networks, not acquiring skills beyond maybe their degree, or even those in trade school. While they're in trade school, they're not building networks. They're not
mhm.
necessarily acquiring like sales skills, especially for persons in trades. Sales skills are really important if you're doing a trade, right? Because that could help you turn whatever trade you're doing into your own business and then vertically scale it. So, it's really good to see uh, younger people doing stuff like this, and that's why I asked for your email in the chat because I'm hoping to do I'm hoping to start a podcast later down. Well, I've already gotten back to uh to dropping content, but most of my content is going to be centered around younger guys, late millennials, Gen Z, even Gen Alpha, getting them into STEM trades, just being more productive too, just stuff like free time as well. And I'm sure you would agree with me on this. Free time ain't free, bro. What we
Yeah,
call
that's
free
true.
time is not free, bro.
Nah,
Um,
man. You got to get on your job, man.
yep.
Broke Genius. If you're in the chat, man, salute to you, dog. That's true, man. Nothing's not free, man. You got to research because it's hyper competitive. People, for one thing, a lot of people don't realize that they have automations doing a lot of the research. So they got a system bot that's pretty much scanning, screening, and web scraping all over the
Yep.
internet and figuring out, okay, who is mentioning what numbers and analytics. Let's be able to get some traffic there, or let's be able to get some more. Like it's all an algorithm. Everything is technical. People are
Yep.
scanning and scouting. Like
Yep.
there are literally people that are scouting out there. So when it comes to like someone in the chat, man, he said that what degree he should go for when it comes to college. I said, you said you want to be in business. I said business administration. But to be honest, I was researching about my business at sophomore year in high school. I remember times where I was in the library and you had dudes pretty much saying, yo, 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 man, let's be able to hoop. Nah, I'm taking my lunch to be able to study about stocks and figuring out my next transition. So, it's all educational. Everything is personal educational. All that other nonsense. Nah.
Now, here's the thing. I would never discourage, and I'm gonna address this in some videos, but I would never discourage guys from saying, hey, let's go hoop, that kind of thing. But it can't be everything that you do. You literally have to treat your time like money. You have to treat it actually even more precious than money, because it's more valuable than money. So, let's say, I don't know. Again, I'm using the word free time loosely. You have 8 hours of free time throughout the week, right? You got school, maybe a part-time job. You have 8 hours to yourself per se. You can't be spending 7 of those 8 hours hooping, right? You gotta be doing something productive with at least half of that time. And like you said, you took your lunch in the library to read up, to learn more, that kind of thing. That's important, because whatever you learned then is gonna be useful to you later down, right? And then once you budget that time properly, one, you obviously become more disciplined. Two, you become more productive, and then three, you make it easier down the road because you get a lot of the heavy lifting, the boring part of stuff out the way early. A lot of guys, they don't think about it like that, and I see it so much in college, for instance. Um, Guys there to get the degree, but at the same time, they're spending all the time out drinking, parties, smoking weed, uh, just wasting time. And then when you sit down, after they get the degree, all the other time they could have spent, doing networking, reading, extra research, building relationships with your colleagues, maybe lecturers even. None of that happens, and they come out and they say, "Oh, college is a waste." And then for you guys in the states, especially, you come out of college in debt too. All of that is messed up.
Yeah, man, because a lot of people aren't very disciplined people. A lot of people feel like, well, I'll figure it out. It's like, nah, you need to be finding a plan, an action plan for tomorrow.
Facts, facts.
Too many people just go into something half cocked and not pretty sure of their enter plan, because a lot of stuff fails basic planning. The business IQ has to be strong, or it has to be adequate. Somebody
Yeah,
can be a complete idiot, but if as long as they know about business and how to capture transactions, he can know limited shit, but he'll still figure out a way how to get some money.
definitely. And the mentality is important as well because, like you said, you can go in as a quote unquote complete idiot, but you have a good plan, and then you also all in. You're not half cocked. So you may fail the first time, maybe even the second time, but because you're going in with a certain mentality, you're able to learn from your mistakes and get better every time. Um, I've seen it happen where guys I know that didn't go to the best schools, didn't have the best grades, but those guys are business owners now, and they have their business, they have their property, etc., and they're doing well. But it's all because again, it comes back to the mentality. And I think you and Broke Genius were talking about it, where you said that your mentality didn't really mesh well with your parents. I think you mentioned something like that.
It never does, but I'm writing solo. I pay my own stuff, so it's all good.
Yeah, I got you right. How do I say? I have partial experience with something like that, where you have a plan, you're making it work, and then your parents didn't necessarily believe or buy into it. That kind of happened to me on the way out of high school. I had one plan I was working towards it. My parents didn't believe. But then as things started to happen and they started to see the success, slowly they were like, okay, you're making sense now. So, it's a process. Uh-oh, he got kicked out again. I hope he's gonna jump back. Okay, yeah, he's back. He's back. So yeah, I don't know if you missed anything I said, but
No, no, I was listening. I got
all
two
right, good.
devices. I was listening.
All right, good, perfect. So yeah, that's the main thing. People generally speaking, especially in the early stages of your plan, especially when you're young, it sucks. People don't believe in you. Um, Sometimes it's almost like they're wishing that you fail because they're like, oh, you don't know anything. You're inexperienced. You don't have knowledge, and
See, that's why I
sometimes
had
they
to be
expect you to
arrogant.
fail.
See, that's why I had to be arrogant and have that proper shell, because I knew that people. Nah, I had to bank on myself. I knew people was gonna be riding with it.
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody want to be out there at the finish line. I knew people wasn't gonna. No, no. Like anybody that's listening, man, you can't be on this weak lack of mental toughness, because it takes the mental toughness, because people are gonna tell you no. To be honest, if you ask somebody, "Well, you think I'm gonna be successful?" Somebody's gonna say, "Of course not." So what do you expect? You
yeah,
ask other people. You ask other people to either, am I going to be successful, or will you allow me to be successful? If you're going to say that, no, I don't want you to be successful neither. Duh. you know,
Right.
they
Right.
tell you something to suppress you so they can be ahead of you.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a game. It's a game of I tell you some counterproductive bullshit so to help me so you can be able to run in circles while I'm running forward with the gas pedal. So
That's on point. That's literally what tends to happen. Uh, People feed you false information, false hope, uh, or they just be all around negative around you in hopes that it slows you down while they get ahead. Sometimes get ahead using your ideas even.
shit, it's pimping. It's pimping because when people tell you to do something that they want to do, yeah, that's pretty much something that you just say nah, because people gonna tell you anything to be able to get you at a low state so they can say either yeah I was right because it's
Yep.
about I was right,
Yep.
I
Yep.
was right, and I was right, but you proved them wrong so they can get even more mad. Matter of fact, they'll be pissed off. People are not gonna. I don't see the utopia of where you are the MVP and people start cheering. Nah, I expect to be the most valuable player in the league and get it booed outside where you can hear it from any neighborhood. Nah, the most valuable player getting booed. Okay, that's funny. You gotta have a mentality of you hate me. Okay, I hate you too, and walk off. If it's like that, because if it's like that, you gotta have a tougher shell. You gotta have a way tougher shell because the more that you have a mentality of just winning in general, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong because I just want to say this, and I'm about to end this broadcast.
Cool.
Um, Keep on winning. Choose to always develop because that's beautiful, man. Broke Genius pretty much came through and pretty much said that he has real estate investments in Gary and Chicago. That's a great thing, man. That shows that yeah, there are people serious out here when it comes to getting to this money, capturing transactions, accumulating assets, diversifying your portfolio, managing, staffing people. Because he got real estate problems. He talking about I'm trying to find the right set up my contractors. He got
Yeah.
real estate
Yeah.
problems. He got bigger fish to fry.
Um, here's something else I've noticed. You
Mm-hmm.
could co-sign this if you think it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
What I've seen is guys that I know in real estate, they tend to have like a company that they work with to do all the repairs, contracting work, that kind of thing, and they generally do it like over long term, so maybe contract stuff like that. That one helps to build a relationship with whoever you're working with, and then if you're trying to build as well, like with other, I don't know, young people, businessmen as well. If you know they do good work, you working together is gonna help, gonna help both of you grow.
Yeah, man, because there are people out here focusing on accumulating assets, real estate, tuning everything out. You got to
Yeah.
tune everything out. You literally because tunnel vision isn't good for a long term, but the short term tunnel vision where you're pretty much focused on self and have to be able to navigate around with other people,
Mm-hmm.
be able to navigate beyond just navigating. It's networking and negotiating and the
Yep.
processes of cultivating some smart where it's mutual where
Yep.
four people can come through and pretty much have money cash aside. They have their lawyers ready and they pretty much conduct business.
Yep.
So, when it's like that, man, there's gonna be people that's gonna be serious, but eventually there's gonna be more people that wake up and get serious because
Facts.
the
Facts.
environment will change that complacency
Yeah. Yeah.
quick.
For sure. And this is something I think you might actually be really good at, maybe per se, like on this channel, is if you share, I don't know, some of your personal stories. I don't want to necessarily say secrets to your mentality, but just any of the stuff that got you to where you are. I'm sure you'd motivate a lot of guys and give them inspiration because
I want to I definitely want to motivate people, man, because I just wanted people to understand that, you got to do it on your own. It's all on you at the end of the day.
yep,
And you got to bank on yourself because, to be honest, no, you're nobody's favorite. I just tell
facts,
people like that, and they understand exactly what I meant just off of that. You're nobody's favorite.
facts.
To be honest, your family may be the ones be caring for you, but you got to be able to have great strategy when it comes to your business, and the mindset has to work. You have to tune things out. You have to be able to be still nice and cordial to people, but still have a serious demeanor every
Yep,
day because
yep,
your schedule is strict. Your schedule is strict. You have to understand what's information, breaking news. That's why a lot of people, they just hire market researchers, analyzers, and relay the feedback to them. I
yep,
need in-depth market research in this area on this time at this deadline so I can keep up.
yep. Saves you time. That's the thing again. Like I said, your time is always more valuable than your money. If you reach a stage where you have the disposable, the money to throw at something like that, yeah, you spend the money on the market research to save you the time, and you know you you leverage that now to to improve your business, up your sales, whatever's necessary. So yeah, that's important. And after co-signing what you said as well about you're never anybody's favorite, you got to do it on your own. That's really important because what you see, and I'm sure you see it a lot in the space too, is there's a lot of young guys come here to get women, right? Not realizing that the time and money they spend in on those pursuits at this stage, when you look back on it 10 years down the line, none of those relationships worked. All that money was wasted, and it could have done something totally different and gotten you in a better environment with better everything. But, you know, it's all about, where your motivations lie.
Yeah, yeah, man. Because if your priorities ain't focused on really shit, you can't help but to receive shit back.
Yep,
But
yep,
all intents and purposes, man, dudes that get caught up like that, they don't understand opportunity cost. They don't understand, every dollar that you did spend could have went into a different portal.
yep. Man, let me tell you this.
Hmm.
When I first did economics in high school, right? As soon as I looked at a lot of the principles and concepts in economics, and I look at the world around me, I'm like, yo, the average person sometimes is getting robbed or deceived at at, at such a high level, and they don't even realize it. It's ridiculous. And then it also helped me to see, hey, if I'm doing business, these are strategies that I could employ to maximize profit. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, man. Everything is a racket. When I research my economics textbook and figure out the buy low, sell high method,
Yep,
and
yep, yep.
that's when I pretty much said, okay, I pretty much understand the grand concept of business. Just let me be able to get some products in my hands so I can be able to sell to test out my in-person sales skills, and it worked. It worked because it was motivating customers due to the fact that it was iPhones. That was the first product that I sold out in high school was
Nice, nice.
iPhones.
What I gotta
So
say though,
yes.
um, is
And I also got
that.
suppliers, man. I also got suppliers, man. Anybody that's listening, man, for consultations, man, I'm telling you, man, it's a negotiable fee, man. You can be able to get some suppliers for phones, suppliers for furniture to be able to sell, drop shipping, even credit. I can help you with that as well. But same is going as business concepts, man. Keep going.
Yeah, I'm saying, well, as a matter of fact, I'm going to piggyback off that what you just
Mhm.
said. Guys listening on live or on the playback, take advantage of opportunities like this now while Jonathan is still small and he's not a big time baller. Although for his age, you could kind of say he's a big time baller. But the winner's mentality is you don't get it till you got it. You're not there yet. You're never there yet. But going back to what I was saying initially, um, yeah, everything is a racket, and what's really funny is uh is for instance, let me give a good example. Stuff like toothbrushes cereal, breakfast cereal, things that people buy retail, right? And I guess I'm giving game away for free, but stuff like that, those are things that people tend rarely tend to buy different brands and rarely tend to buy different variations of that product. They usually buy the same thing every time, and those are products that have almost a pretty much set usage life, right? Instead of buying them wholesale, people will buy them retail. So you'll maybe buy one toothbrush every so often, when if you just buy a box of those things, that's a year's worth of toothbrushes covered, maybe 2 years, and that's expenses out the way. Like you don't even realize how much money you save that way. Same for stuff like soap, dishwashing liquid.
If you can,
I
if somebody get access to a motorized toothbrush, say if you can get something that can be sold, like on Google search, I did the research. Motorized toothbrushes can go up from 75, and if you got a good branding style, it's $200. If somebody can get
Yep,
a wholesale
yep,
on that,
yep.
something where you can get $10, because right after I'm done with this live stream, literally when I'm done with this live stream, I'm gonna go bark at my employees on my Amazon store and my Shopify store. But yeah, man, if anybody can get access to motorized toothbrushes, that'd be like a great smooth thing to do.
To sell,
And,
yeah.
and the soaps, say the Hope dispensers, that's another high ticket product. Somebody can be able to get access, like literally drop shipping. You can sell online anywhere in the world as long as you have the supplier that can be able to get to your customer at the fastest rate. Soap hand
Yep,
dispensers, $200 you can sell. If you can find a supplier that can get it to you for 40 to 50, you can be able to win on the margin. But
yep.
keep going.
What's good too is, well, you're in the US, you're in one of the better places in the Western Hemisphere when it comes to logistics. So like everything you just mentioned is especially now in the world of e-commerce, now is the best time to take advantage of these things. So guys in college, guys fresh out of college, guys fresh out of high school even, these are the kind of opportunities you should be looking to take advantage of. Again, you're listening on live, you're listening on the playback, hit Jonathan up. This is something that could potentially change your life. You just have to be willing to put in the work, and you'll get results. Jonathan is a living example of that, right? So, man, all I'm gonna say is this: keep doing what you're doing. Uh, I definitely hope I could maybe feature you on an episode or two, because like I said, I plan to do some podcasts surrounding, productivity topics for young men, and yeah, I definitely would like to see your channel grow. I don't know how much time you have to maybe invest in, like, I, I don't know, improving your content, because I'm sure that's something you have down the pipeline. But once you do that, bro, and like you start getting the message, really getting the message out there, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, man. Nash, please take a consultation. Like I said and mentioned all the time, I'm willing to negotiate with brothers. I'm not taxing too high. Take a
And I'm sure.
consultation. And for one thing, with the consultation, Nash, I can be able to help you get the supplier. I can be able to help you with the traffic and the teams. With the credit, because with Amazon FBA, you're going to need credit on hand to be able to fulfill those orders. If you're going to be able to buy a bulk, like with Vinyl Record Store, Vinyl has actually made a comeback, but I'm not too familiar on that specifically. But I can help you be able to get some traffic to your website.
Right.
I can be able to help that. But third party fulfillment, yeah, it'll work. Actually, Amazon got a lot of traffic. So Nash, please book a consultation.
And I'm sure you're not one of those guys that, you book a consult, and then after the consult, it's like really hard to get a hold of you.
No, no,
You you
I
owe.
actually give my phone. I give my phone number out. Actually, the people that's doing my consultations with me right now, they got my phone and they can call me at any time. People that are
Exactly.
paying customers, man, get access to me by phone. We don't have to keep doing this email back and forth stuff. Make sure that's on a direct level. But Nash, I'm gonna send you my email so you will know where to reach me at. But yeah, man, like me personally, I'm nah, man. it's about helping and figuring out a strong strategy, because really it helps me out. The more I can be able to analyze other people's store and their concept, it helps me to be able to keep having a strong supply chain, great manager skills, and also strong problem solving skills, being very pragmatic on my final
Yes, sir.
decision.
Yes,
So,
sir.
so
You hit
yeah,
all the
man.
nails on the head.
Yeah, man. Nash, please book a consultation, man.
Yeah, you hit
Book a
all the points.
book a consultation, man. Whenever you're ready, man, I'm here. Because really, with my corporate clients, I'd be charging like $2,000 a month, but they're corporate. You see, they got like a $50,000 marketing budget. So really, doing that with corporate people, yeah. But I don't tax people high, man. I do not tax people high. I'm willing to negotiate with people. I
Yeah,
am always there, willing to negotiate with people and understanding what's their issues, and I can be able to be there as it's more like a coordinator,
I got you. I got you.
because I ain't coach. Cause nah, I ain't coaching nobody. I'm just like, because really they're the quarterback and the head coach. Because at the end of the day, it's their final decision. I'm the coordinator, and I can be able to at least provide a single, a couple plays you can run.
Yeah, you helping them with the framework, how to draw up the plan, and then from there, it's up to them to direct and execute.
Dante, yes, I pretty much have them do customer service work, fulfilling orders with my marketing team, IVAs, when it comes to making sure that any bugs on my Google Merchant account or on my Bing Shopping Center, if any bugs is happening, the bugs can be handled. So that's most of the tasks that they pretty much do on a day-to-day.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
But yeah, man, I'm about to check
Good
off
stuff.
though.
I
Yes,
Pleasure.
I need to check
Was
off.
great chopping it up with you. I'm sure this ain't gonna be the last time. Like I said, keep doing what you're doing. I'm glad I actually was able to catch a stream of yours. And yeah, bro, peace.
Yeah, man. Peace. Okay. Now salute to everybody. Much love and respect. And yeah, man, book a consultation, man. I don't tax people high, man. I make sure I negotiate with people. I make sure that I understand that the situations that they're in, and be able to help provide service and create more stronger value add. Dante S, this is the final question. Before I get off of here. Don't order, fulfill automatically with Shopify, AliExpress. I don't do automatically fulfill. I make sure that my team does it manually, where they can provide the message of, please don't put any type of promotions on the packaging, inside the packaging, in and out, and also make sure that everything is tim and proper. But salute to everybody. Let me get everybody here. Salute to Dante. Salute to Nash. Salute to Wadner. Salute to Brother Wadner. Ramil. Salute to BMT. CT. Mr. Myers. Mr. Gerald Draymond. Salute to you. Who else was up in here? Who else? Salute to Ramil, Broke Genius. Salute to everybody, though. Salute to everybody that's listening and everybody that's listening to the playback, man. Create a strategy, create a niche, understand your business, have strong negotiations, skills, and always win. I want you to win. Bank on yourself. Always. Always bet on yourself, and always have teams around you that can be able to help assist you. But to everybody in the chat, salute, peace, and love, and happiness.